How about that meal, everyone? Thank you again, hospitality team. Fantastic. If you're still eating, keep eating. I just want to talk about a couple of items. Like I said in the email setting this all up, I want to talk about the future of Westside Production, where we're going, what we're doing, and we're coming up to a really, really crazy time. I just want to put this up on the screen for us, possibly. Technical problems. Riley, go ahead and go to the next slide for me. Connect everyone to Jesus and his mission. That's the church's mission statement. That's our mission statement as well, and it's more true now than ever. We're opening up a room that it's huge. We're going to go in there later. You'll see all the seats, and it's our responsibility as members of the church to invite people in, to bring them in, and hopefully connect them to Jesus. That's why we do what we do. I do want to say quickly thank you to everyone in this room. It's been a crazy last few years. But I want to point out, over the last 2 years, over 10,000 hours of volunteer time has been put in. And that's thanks to each one of you guys. So, round of applause. And speaking of the last couple of years, I have a video to play that is going to show where we were a few years ago. Roll it.
Good morning, Westside. We are so grateful to have you here with us this morning. Let's stand and sing together. Who am I that the highest King would welcome? I was lost, but he brought me. Know his love for me. Know his love for me. Who the sun sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. Free at last, he has ransomed me, his grace runs deep. While I was a slave to sin, Jesus died for me. Yes, he died for me. Who the sun sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am.
So you can see there, that was a while ago, and there's nothing terrible or wrong about that. But I want to just show from the small, detail, little things that we've adjusted to where we are a few weeks ago.
Everything's possible by the power of the Holy Ghost. A new wind is blowing right now, breaking my heart of stone, taking over like a Jericho. My walls are all crashing down right now. I know you're able, my God, come through again. You can do all things. You can do all things but fail. 'Cause you never lost a battle. No, you never lost a battle. And I know you never will. You never lost a battle. 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 Never will. You never will. No, you never lost a battle. Never lost a battle. Never lost a battle. Never lost a battle. You never lost a battle. Never lost a battle. You never will. You never will. No, you never lost a battle. Always been true. You never lost a battle. Always been good. You never lost a battle.
Cut it off early just to cut it off early, but you guys can tell just from watching the two different clips how much we've elevated where we were to where we are now. That's thanks to a lot of trainings, a lot of time being spent on the equipment. There's some gear upgrades that helped with that as well. But I really do believe that it is because we're all taking what we learn in those trainings and applying them in service. And whether that be a training outside of Sunday morning or Wednesday night rehearsals, or if it is in service training, which is they're both equally great. We can go on to the what's next slide. There's a lot of information here off the bat, but what's next for Westside Production? We have some trainings coming up for the new worship center. We have a grand opening service, which is coming up very quickly. It's on December 5th, and Christmas at Westside. Talking about those real quick, we'll go to the next slide. There are some upcoming, you can go to the next slide, Riley. Mark your calendar. Thank you.
All right, TJ, I got your number, pal.
Go ahead and write these down. They're all important. Maybe some are not important to you specifically for your role. Yeah, feel free to take a picture. I might post this on the Facebook page as well, just so you can see this. But we have a director training coming up. So if you are a director or have ever been a director or you're interested in being a director, I would like for you to come to the director training. And we'll do what we normally do at director trainings if you've been there. Grady's going to be hosting a audio training and going over some of the new equipment that is included in that. And a really fun one that's on here is Moving Day. We're going to be taking all the things that we have that still need to make it over to the new space, and everyone's invited to come to that. It's going to be right after church at the same time frame that we're doing this meeting today. And it'll just be a hands-on stripping down our stage as it is currently and moving it over. After that, we have our camera training, and we're waiting until after moving day because some of our cameras are going over, and it just makes more sense to do it that way. A stage manager training and a mock rehearsal. So we have never done one of these before, but after our December 1st rehearsal for the grand opening, we're going to have the exact same service. We're going to do it again on December 2nd and just go through the rehearsal process. So if you're not on for the grand opening and you want to get a rehearsal in before you're on next, this is a great time to come to. You'll be able to have people on stage. It'll be a more in-depth training process, and we'll try to run a service just like we normally would. Make sense? And we'll go to the what's next slide again. So some other big things that are coming up are the online service being elevated. You guys are already a part of that. You've seen the addition of our online audio feed, which has been going great. Thank you, Grady and audio team. Always sounds good. The addition of mobile cameras and just some of the specific hosting moments and how those are going out to our team and how those are going out to our people online watching. I want to introduce you to the team leadership item that's on this list. Whenever I go and think about how can we better group ourselves up and put ourselves in team categories, I like to think of like a leader of the team, and that could be anyone. You guys are all great leaders, but someone that's willing to maybe go the extra mile, have connection with the people that are under your team. I kind of see this as, for example, someone that oversees the cameras, the camera team specifically, and would be the point of contact. Rather than coming to me directly, you would have somebody that is your team lead, and you're able to go to them and ask them specific questions about the service, or possibly say, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it in this week, and they would be able to work it out and figure out those things that are going on. And what I want to see is each group of production kind of have one of those team leads and have someone that's just going to take ownership over that group of people and hopefully be someone that can rally the troops and do all the things that I'm doing right now, which I won't not be doing it. It's just I'm going to have more people underneath that are able to help elevate as this team continues to grow. And I think it's good to start now while we're not huge and be able to scale up as we move forward. And that it leads to the next thing, team growth. We're at a point where we have just enough volunteers to operate in the new space where we're not overworking everyone. I don't want to have people coming in 3 times a month or something like that. It leads to burnout. It can happen really fast, and we just want to make sure everyone has enough space to be able to have joy whenever they come in and they serve. So with the team growth, I can go to the next slide now. How are we going to grow? What are we going to do? Well, it all starts with you. And one thing that we talk about in some of the leadership programs at Westside, specifically Leader Launch, is we want to blur the line between a staff member and a volunteer. Who's taken Leader Launch in this room? Awesome. So this year, meaning from now until next year, not this year till the end, I want to encourage everyone to take Leader Launch at the next opportunity. We'll be hosting a table, if not multiple tables, with how many people in our group hasn't taken Leader Launch. And I'll be there for that, and I'll be there with you. If you're interested in going through Leader Launch, let me know, and I'll make sure that you get the next sign up for whenever we host that. I'm unsure when it is next, but I've gone through it, and the people that have gone through it can probably speak to how powerful it is, and it doesn't take forever. It's just a quick, I think it's 2 days now, is that right? Friday night and Saturday. So if you're interested in that, let me know. You can just text me and we'll figure it out whenever it gets there. So blurring the line between staff and volunteer, that means a lot of things. One, going back to the team leadership, if you're interested in something like that, we're still working out a lot of the details, but come talk to me. The other thing is invite and bring people to church with you. We have a huge room now. And the more that you can invite and bring people with you, the more people that will be interested in production, the more people that will be interested in serving in next steps, the more people that will be interested in helping the next generation come up and be a leader at Westside and hopefully connect with the mission statement that Westside has. So I encourage you to do that. And the last thing is pray. Our church is going over 28 days of prayer. If you're in service today, you probably heard them say that. And there's booklets that go along with it. It's from today, November 7th to December 4th, leading up to our grand opening. And I have some of these books, and I'll be posting on Facebook, on the Facebook page, just a little tidbit every couple of days, encouraging you to follow along with us through the 28 days of prayer. And we'll see what God does. I believe it'll be an amazing thing. We're going to go on a quick tour of the new space. I know everyone's pretty excited and all that. What I'm going to ask is that while you're going through the new space, be thinking of questions that you might have and hold on to them. I know it'll be tempting to ask while we're in there, but just so everyone can hear all the answers, we're going to come back in, and Grady and I are going to do a Q&A. And that can be about anything. If you have a question about something specific that's not about the new room, that's cool too. And we'll go through that. I think we have to go outside to get inside. Is that true still?
Probably.
You have a key to get in? All right. TJ's our guy. So we don't have to go outside then? Shouldn't have to. All right. Don't worry about bringing a jacket then or whatever. If you want to bring stuff, go ahead. But we're going to be coming back into this room eventually. Let's go. Pretty cool, right? It's going to be fun to be able to serve in there and get to use some of that new equipment and just grow as a team with you guys in there. It's going to be really fun. I'm looking forward to it. Does anyone have any questions? Haley. So the old worship room is going to become what we're in now, the multipurpose room. We'll be able to have medium to large events in there and things like Rooted. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a school attached to the church, SCS. They'll be able to use that space for chapels. They already do, but they'll be able to use that space for chapels, concerts, things like that. They'll be able to have a little bit more ownership over it than they do now. First service will also be in there. Thank you, Joyce. So our traditional service will be in there. Yes, Robin.
Teleprompter and confidence monitors, will they be coming down from the ceiling or, hooked to the ceiling now?
The confidence monitors and teleprompters are not installed yet, but if you were to look up as you're exiting the room through those vomitoriums, if you look up, there's a little space for those. There's also a space right over front of house where there'll be one there. There's also going to be a couple of ground monitors as well, like we have now. John?
What all doors are locked and what's the process of getting back there?
Yes.
There will be a process eventually. It's unknown now because we don't even know which doors have fobs exactly. Half of our keys don't work on the doors. Apparently TJ has the magic key.
Robin, I am going to go back to those TVs. You're probably not going to have to turn them on with a remote anymore, so.
Because I remember to turn them on, I forget to turn them on.
The system we're installing is pretty amazing. It's called QSys. It's actually what this wing of the building has integrated in it. Those black panels on the wall, you probably saw some of those as you were walking through. It gives us a whole lot of control. We can say turn everything on and turn everything off from a press of a button. Steph? All right, first one. I'm sorry, did you say cry room?
If you're talking about for Mark, then he can just go home.
Because of the added exterior viewing areas, there's not a cry room in this build.
There is a nursing room, like a mom's room, to one side of I think it's the women's restroom. So next to that is like a nursing mom's room, which has a TV in it, like a cry room. So, yep.
Now, my other question is there going to be any communication from where the stage manager is at to the green room? Because that's kind of a hike to try to find everybody now.
Yeah, there is really a much improved comm system being installed throughout, and we're going to have to do some good training with our team that's going to be in the green room and make sure that whenever that red light turns on, they're having someone answer the phone or there's a speaker on where they can hear the comm channel coming directly from the stage manager or from the producer. You know, I was thinking about putting a comm right by the urinal in there, just for Eric.
30 seconds, you can do it.
Any other questions? Yes, Sarah? What you see there is the final product of the stage. It's all wood. We did that so if something gets damaged, we can pop up one of those pieces of wood and replace it. Same thing if we wanted to do some sort of theatrical thing, we can just drill right into the ground and pull it up if we need to and replace it fairly easily. Yeah, sorry, TJ. It'll be a little bit of a getting used to process. Grady can probably speak to this better than I can.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet. You'd be surprised. We were actually, because we were a little bit concerned about that, but I mean, if you're careful, it's pretty quiet.
The noise floor of the room, which is just the general white noise that the room produces, like every room has it, you know what I'm talking about? There's just like that, if it got sucked out of this room, you'd know instantly. It's high enough that you shouldn't hear footsteps. Then again, you can't be trotting out there.
Another reason Eric has to use the restroom earlier.
He'll leave his high heels at home too. We'll add it to a change order. All right, reining it in. Any other questions? Dan, then Marco. What we're thinking now is we may be utilizing that garage door a lot. That's what we're thinking now. There's also a couple doors in the like holding areas where the stage is. We'll probably open one of those doors on Wednesday nights and Sunday morning.
Yeah, and I think in terms of parking, I think they're going to ask us, like all the volunteers that come in early, to be more on the back side of the building so that all of the main parking is open for everybody coming in. But we still, yeah, just kind of goes to that question earlier. We got to figure a lot of that out still, but
We'll know for sure before December 5th, but it might be December 2nd that we know.
and then we might change it on December 7th.
For sure. Marco? There's no plans right now to have steps going up to the stage.
You can.
Can you jump too? Last call. TJ? Yes, there's a camera 3 and there's also camera 4 in the more traditional like tripod sense, and those will go on the outside areas of the room, kind of shooting across the stage. Last call.
Mark?
We're going to stick with the Blackmagic production broadcast cameras. There is going to be a new camera included in that. We're bringing over the 3 that we have and then adding a 4th to the broadcast style ENG cameras that we do have. There is a new chair. It's actually a very nice chair. It's a stealth chair if you're interested. That's the name of it, yeah.
We didn't get the stealth chair. It's the Ergo Labs chair.
The Ergo Labs chair, excuse me.
Yeah,
they're
we,
all the same, yeah.
we got legit chairs. We're good.
Yeah, they're like 12-hour rated, supposed to be nice and comfortable.
Yeah, they're the chair that like all the tours use. So all the touring production guys, that's what they use. So they're nice. They're comfy. Sit stand for monitors, so you'll be able to sit up and be at height. And I'm gonna get fat because I don't have stairs to run up and down anymore, and I just gotta sit there and I won't even be standing. Just I'm just not gonna leave.
Great. Well, thank you for being here, everyone. A very special thanks. There's a couple new volunteers here tonight that this is your very first time being involved in anything production, so I'm glad you're here. And if you see someone you don't know, make sure you say hi to them today. Quick housekeeping things. If you don't get Planning Center emails, come talk to me right after this. If you want to order t-shirts or anything like that, or if you have payment for hoodies, shirts, whatever, you can go talk to Riley. He's going to mark that down and make sure you're set up. He's sitting back there at the booth. I know, right? And that's all I have on my list. Thank you all for being... Oh, you know what? Everyone needs to come up here and get one of these 28 Days of Prayer books. If you don't have one, I'm going to be standing right here, and I'd love to just say bye to you as you leave today. Let's go ahead and pray, and we'll get out of here. Father, thank you for this time that we got to spend together, just honoring you and seeing where you're leading us. Lord, be with us this week as we go out into our regular work lives and encounter people that may not know you. Let us be a beacon of light for you, Lord. God, we love you, and we're thankful for what we get to do around here at Westside. Thank you for Westside. It's in your name I pray. Amen. All right, team. Love you guys.